Hey everyone, welcome back to Poplar Preparedness. I am infuriated, honestly. I'm infuriated and flabbergasted. I don't even know. And don't get me wrong, I'm infuriated and flabbergasted against myself too. It's as I've looked into the trucking shortages, the rabbit hole just keeps going deeper. And the thing that's infuriating about this is, as I start doing research, it's not like it's hard to find. The stuff that I'm finding is stuff that the trucking journals have been talking about for 5, 6, 7 months. I'm finding YouTube videos with 200 views talking about these problems from months ago. Talking about very real problems. Serious problems. Particularly the trailer shortage. Trucking companies can't buy trailers right now. And if you know anything about trucking, that's a major component of the truck. I'm not going to get into how hard it is for them right now to buy trucks or buy replacement parts for those trucks to keep them on the road. And we've already talked about this whole DEF scandal, this hostage situation we have going on with the EPA holding the United States trucks up, 10,000 of them offline because the stupid sensors can't even detect the DEF that's in the system, okay? And they can't buy replacement sensors, which you have to ask the question, why do they have to keep buying replacement stupid sensors that don't work just to keep their trucks operating for a non-critical system? But that's a whole nother story, right? We're talking today not about all these other problems. We're not even talking about the trucker shortage. Now, I know you guys are on board with me too on the whole fact that we should just pay truckers more and there wouldn't be as much of a trucker shortage. But it takes time to train new truckers, and on top of that, a lot of jobs require you to actually have some experience. So you can't just walk in off the street and then start hauling like hazardous materials and stuff like that, because no company and their insurance agencies are not going to give you that job without experience, right? So, but we're talking about trailers. It's confusing. I get it. I'm looking at these charts, I'm looking at the numbers, and I'm going, well, trailer orders are down. So that means there's less demand, right? Well, no. Trailer orders in October are down 40% from September. They're also down about 40% as opposed to last October. So, I mean, for you and I, non-truckers, and some of you guys are truckers, some of you guys are freight company owners, and awesome, please help us out. Please explain some of these things to us, because I'm reading these trucker journals, freight journals and such like that, and I'm seeing, I'm trying to understand all of this, but here's what I'm being told from these industry insiders. Derek Leathers from Werner Enterprises, coming to you from Freight Waves article here. He's a chairman, president, and CEO, said current tractor and trailer order books extend well beyond the OEMs' manufacturing capabilities. Now, their OEMs are the manufacturing companies, right? Original equipment manufacturer. For all of next year. Hear that? Beyond the manufacturer's capability of building in 2022. This is coming to you in November, okay, of 21. Meaning the industry fleet, which has gotten older and smaller during the pandemic, won't be increasing anytime soon. The fleet has gotten older since last year. As he says, Werner's average truck age was 1.8 years heading into the pandemic, with trailers 4 years old on average. Now, his fleet is at 4.4 years for trailers, 2.1 years for tractors. Now, there aren't numbers across the industry on how old everyone's trailers are, but if this is at all, and it is, because we're seeing this report not coming from one company, but from companies one after the next, they're all saying they want to order trailers. They want to refresh their trailer fleet, but they can't. Not only can they not order trailers because the manufacturers are booked solid through 22, but manufacturers are going to be producing less trailers next year, and they're producing less trailers right now because they can't get the parts. They can't get the metal. They can't get the workers in the factories. They can't get what they're trying to do. They're saying that they could be losing as much as 15% of the trucking manufacturing capacity on trailers over the next year. They can't order because the manufacturers aren't making, and the manufacturers are going to be making less. Does that sound like a shortage to you? Because it sure sounds like a shortage to me. Let me put this in Twinkie terms. You go to the grocery store and you want to buy a Twinkie. You go to the shelf where the Twinkies are, and there's no Twinkies there. Okay? So you go to the counter and you say, I really want a Twinkie. How about I order a Twinkie? And they say, well, we're booked solid through next year on Twinkies, so we're not going to take your order. And you're saying, I just want to make an order, like for when the next Twinkie comes available. And they say, sorry, you got to come back next month, and maybe we will give you a slot for early January 23 to buy a Twinkie. Okay? Absurd, right? But maybe that's going to happen in the near future on Twinkies too. I don't know. But the fact is that we have a significant, there's less orders for trailers coming through, and that's not because, let me read something to you. Because these graphs are rather confusing. Because I'm used to when orders go down, that's a good thing, right? That means, there's not enough demand. Orders have been tepid all year. Don Akey, VP of Commercial Affairs at FTR, commented, the many OEMs, once again the manufacturers, right, is not to acquire more backlog, but to manage the backlog they have. Fleets need lots, however. The manufacturers are being careful about how and when they slot these commitments in the schedule. So they're just basically telling certain people to go take a hike. So if you have all the money and you want to buy a trailer right now, what a lot of these guys are hearing is, no, sorry, we don't have the capacity. We won't take your order. Which is, that's just mind-boggling. Like, what do you mean you won't even take an order for the future? It says some OEMs that are booking orders beyond Q1 are utilizing material surcharges due to the commodity prices. They don't want to take the risk because they don't know what prices are going to be like next year, so they don't want to take the orders. October is the traditional start of the fall ordering season for the following year. However, this is far from a normal year. Orders will remain constrained until the supply chain permits the manufacturers to complete their bookings for 2022. Orders will remain unavailable until the manufacturers can build all their 2022 bookings. And here's the kicker. Order numbers continue to understate the true demand. How much does a tractor trailer cost you right now? You can't buy one. So, infinity and beyond? That's fair. That's fair to say. Does that sound like a problem to you? Not only do they have this DEF problem, not only do they have a DEF sensor issue, not only do they have a trucker driver issue, not only do they have warehousing issues, not only can they not order trucks, but and not only can they not order new trailers, but they can't order parts, replacement parts for their existing trailers because those manufacturers are sucking up all the parts. So they can't get new handles, they can't get new sensors, they can't get, which means all these old trailers that are needing replacement parts because they're getting older, they can't fix them because they can't order the parts because the manufacturers are using them all. You see how this is just snowballing? And this is the industry that every other industry in the United States depends on. They move the lifeblood of the United States around the country. These billion-dollar companies can't get their hands on trailers, which is what their company is all about. It's like a shipping company not being able to buy boats. It's like an airline can't buy airplanes. And now we have a trucking companies across the United States that can't buy trailers, can't buy trucks, can't buy drivers, can't buy anything. They can't buy replacement parts because they don't exist. And every other company, every other industry in the United States depends on these trucking companies to keep things moving because that will just create more shortages, which you can just guarantee is going to cause more shortages at the manufacturers of these trailers and trucks. Does that sound like a cascading failure? Does that sound like a collapse to you? Because that's what's unfolding right now. It's slow burning, but it's like a freight train coming right at us. And nobody's talking about it. That's like I said at the very beginning, it's infuriating to me that no one's talking about it. No one's seen this coming except for people inside the industry who have tried to buy trailers and like, I can't buy trailers. We got a serious problem, folks. We got a series of serious problems coming right at us. You need to be prepared. You need to make sure you have what you need. You need to start thinking more locally. You need to localize your supply chains. You need to be buying stuff locally from people who get their stuff locally. Because when this all hits the fan, things won't be moving from across the ocean to here anymore. They're not going to be moving across the country very well anymore. You need to buy your stuff and be building relationships with people who make the stuff you need close to you. Is that less efficient? Yes, it is. Is it vitally necessary? Growing by the day? Yes. Yes, it is. That's my report. Steve Poplar, out.